and stuff, and then we'll actually debate.
Well, I care about winning, so I could just take the opposite side of any argument and just win, and then but if you need prep later on for the second debate, yeah, that's fine.
Shit, Nairobi is here. Sup, dude?
But Naya sucks. Don't worry about Naya.
Made myself apparent.
All right. So, you want me to go first? You gotta go first.
You can go first because I don't know a lot about your character, so I think it'd be better if you went first.
All right. So Coleman Trebor, despite people saying he was a meme, was actually a Jedi Master during the time of was during the time of the Clone Wars era, and the Jedi Masters at that time included the likes of Obi-Wan Kenobi, who would actually go on to replace Coleman Trebor. Then you had Yoda, Mace Windu, Ki-Adi-Mundi, Kit Fisto. These Jedi are easily light speed and reaction time because they have to react to laser attacks, and by the scientific definition, lasers move at light speed, unless proven otherwise, which they're not. As well as the Force gives him precognition, and he is an adept in the Force, as shown by the fact he achieved the Master rank, and he is well known for his meditation skills. So he is very wise in combat as well as experience. And the person that killed him is actually a renowned Jedi killer. So it's actually a high tier death that came at the hands, as well as he was caught off guard by that character. So because of his swordsmanship, as good as the Jedi were with swords, his speed and his Force augmentation, I think he would beat Raiden. And I'll let you go ahead.
Okay, Raiden, pretty much. Also, that's interesting about your character. I was not aware of that stuff, but I think that's so Raiden is pretty much a cyborg ninja. He just started out as a regular. He was actually under the same program that Solid Snake was under, but then he switched in. There was a ton of stuff, yada yada yada. But basically, he had an enhanced cyborg body, which allowed him to, in that state, easily deflect automatic fire. As we all know, bullets go twice the speed of sound, which is, and most bullets have been said to go. Well, the average bullet has said to go around 1,500 miles an hour, and he can deflect these with complete ease. And then he got an upgrade that was implied to over double his strength and speed and just everything about him. And he also, on top of this, he also has a time dilation where he can slow down time, and he also has a Ripper mode, which is said to increase all of his senses by 10, and it is actually stated that he can use these modes on top of each other, so he can use time dilation and then multiply that already insane time dilation, which, if you do the calculations, can actually be scaled to be 22 times faster, and then he can use Ripper mode on top of this to increase that effect, and that's 10 times more. So put those two together, that equals about 220 times time dilation. So basically, he's 220 times faster than he would normally be, which is already insanely fast, enough to, as I said, deflect bullets and outrun a bullet train. And his sword, the Murasama, can destabilize the molecular bonds of anything that it touches. I am not claiming that this could destroy his lightsaber. I am just saying that he is able to most likely, that he would easily be able to slice through him if given the chance. I do not think it could beat the lightsaber, though. If it can, I would need specific evidence for that. But also, you pointed out that the lasers in Star Wars are light speed. Are we going by the cinematic version? Is that what the basic assumption is for this?
It's cinematic and it's in lore.
Okay, so wait, we're going by okay, so but we can use like the cinematics. We're not treating the cinematics like people say a lot of times. I've heard people actually say that cinematics don't matter because they're changed for story purposes. So if feats are done in the if feats are done and we see visual effects happening in the show, are we in agreement that actually translates to the real canon and stuff, or?
Yeah, it's canon.
Okay. So just based on all that stuff, it's shown that the lasers fired are not light speed just by basic, just, watching you can calculate it if you want. There'd really be no need because it would literally be at one side of the screen at 1 second and another side in the blink of an eye. So no, I do not think they are light speed. And until proven otherwise, I do believe that Raiden simply speed blitzes this guy, especially because he was caught off guard and killed so easily in the second movie.
Okay, so let's go ahead. There is a couple things contradicted that you brought up.
Okay.
For one, so the lightning that is used in Star Wars is expanded upon in the lore, as well as the novelization of the movie, in which stuff like video games and movies is specifically stated by authors that they can't do certain things. Like, for instance, the argument about game mechanics.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, that's
Kratos lifting strength sucks by game mechanics, stuff like that. So, things like that, they're obviously limited in certain areas. Now, the laser is consistent with laser photons, so it would be speed of light. Obviously, if it was speed of light in the movie, we couldn't see it. Like, it would be useless. It'd be pointless.
Yes, but I thought we just stated that we're not taking it like game mechanics where it needs to be slowed down. That's why I wanted to clarify.
You asked me if stuff in the movie could be counted, and I said,
well, that's why that's what I meant by that. I meant, like, are we going to count that? Are you just going to say that if we see the lasers, then it's going to have the same logic as game mechanics, where it can't be going at certain speeds, or else it won't be fair? Or are we going to use just everything that happened in the movie is the full canon, and nothing's going to be changed about it just for the lore?
No, so when I said some stuff could be counted for the movie, like things can be counted. Like, he did die in the movie. That happened.
Yeah, but what I meant was just like the speed of things and stuff like that, and like their reactions and all that stuff. Because canonically, if we take those lasers and stuff from the movie, which is like, I'm saying if we count everything that's actually on the film, and if we see what's on the film, canonically, people who are way less than light speed have reaction dodged it, not even aim dodged it. They've reaction dodged it, and so yeah, are we using the move? So are we using the movie
we're using
in its
a culmination
canonical
of the
calculations from the screen, or are we using just the lore and just saying that it's light
lore
speed?
and the movie? So stuff happened in the movie that's supported by
But the movie contradicts the movie contradicts the lore in that aspect.
Just things that equate to things like game mechanics, to where we wouldn't be able to watch it if they.
So you're saying we're taking lore as priority over the. We're taking lore as priority over the.
Why? Yeah, and I can explain why that makes sense. Because Lucas.
I'm okay if you want to do that. I'm just asking for clarification on that because that's the main reason that I asked that before.
Yeah, so we are, because George Lucas signed off on the novelizations specifically written to support the movie. So yes, we're using lore.
Okay,
and some stuff came out before movies.
So for things like speed and stuff like that, if it's contradicted by the lore, then we're taking lore as priority over the actual cinematics.
Yeah, because of things like game mechanics.
Okay, so like because things like wouldn't be able to be translated to a screen. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, for entertainment purposes, some things have to be changed for the movie.
Okay. One moment, I'm looking something up. If you wanted to say something else, you could go.
Well, that's right like ahead. If in the video game with Raiden, you can see the lightning and stuff. So it's not lightning speed if I'm watching this stuff move.
Well, we never see lightning slow down. Like that. We never see a lightning slow down in the cinematics. We actually see the lightning happen in real time.
In the game, we've never seen stuff like that. We've never seen bullets move, things like that.
Well, we can see bullets move, but if they were far away enough, we could honestly see bullets from our perspective. Like, the bullets move pretty realistically in the game.
The whole reason that we get out of the way of a bullet.
The whole reason in the game that we can like deflect the bullets and everything is because are we talking about game mechanics, or are we talking about the cinematics where he blocks bullets?
I'm not sure. I haven't seen it in a while. I haven't seen Raiden stuff in a while.
Yeah, because in the game mechanics, if you're saying like, oh, the bullets move slower in the game mechanics, they really don't. They actually move at a very like realistic pace, and the only reason that we can't see them is the only reason that we can react to them at that speed is because the whole mechanics of the game is like, you know, the basic boss thing where like you can see them charging up their attack. It's the same with Metal Gears in the game. So in that case, it's that. But in other cases, he's been shown to be able to easily deflect automatic fire.
Okay. Well, are you looking up something for your character while we talk about this?
I'm just looking up a basic like calculation for light speed and like lasers and stuff. But if you want to like keep going on.
So would you argue your character is lightning speed?
Well, one sec. Let me.
Even if we downgrade the lightning speed.
One sec. I'm gonna look this up real quick. Yeah, sorry about this. I just have to look up this.
Yeah, so lightning speed, like I think 220,000 miles per hour, something close to that.
Okay. Okay. So, yep. I almost have the calculation. Don't worry. Okay. Yes, I would. Yes, I do want to argue that Raiden is actually, if you do the calculations, like I stated earlier, like remember how I said that Raiden can dilate times by 220 times.
Mm-hmm.
If you compare that to the speed of the bullets that he has deflected in the game, which are on average, even if we want to say that they weren't using any type of specialized bullets, even for these Metal Gears, even then it would be 1,500 miles an hour. And if you multiply 1,500 by 220, then that's 330,000 miles per hour, which is 150 times, which is 150% the speed of light. I mean, not lightning. That would be insane. So yeah,
well, speed of lightning. Yeah, it's above speed of lightning. That's
yes.
So they're a little closer. Yeah, they're a little closer in speed.
Yeah, and just to be clear, we both know that the just to make sure that people aren't gonna like point out that I like misquoted the speed of lightning. We both know that the actual speed of lightning is 220,000 miles an hour because it's been debunked that it's a third the speed of light because that's just the return stroke.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure because a lot of people make that misconception.
All right, so even if we lowball the light speed thing, even though like characters like Yoda is stated specifically in the novel, and this is another thing where movie it kind of hard to equate to a movie, but every attack Yoda makes, just casual lightsaber strikes. Every move is light speed. He's speed of light. And
where's your evidence for that? I might have missed it.
Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith novelization. Every time he attacked Emperor Sidious is a speed of light attack. He was a green blur going at the speed of light.
Okay, and this was like the narration of the panel. This wasn't like a person saying it.
This was the novel. Yeah.
Okay,
it was the novel was describing the scene of battle.
Okay,
and
so
Anakin. Yeah, so Anakin can process sub-relative at the very least with just normal sight.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Like right off the bat, I can already agree with that.
But he couldn't fathom the movement of Yoda.
Okay, so by that, so you just said that he can't fathom the movement of Yoda, right?
Yeah.
So do you believe that this? I'm sorry, blanking on your character's name. What is it?
Coleman Trebor. Put some respect on it.
Coleman Trebor. So Coleman Trebor. So where do you believe that Coleman Trebor is compared to Yoda, and if that?
All right, so that's a pretty easy scaling. So In the movie, as you remember, I can provide a scan if you need it. He jumped up, force jumped, by the way, at least like 60 to 100 feet to the arena ledge at the balcony, and was about to kill Dooku. And it's actually described in the visual novelization that, or the visual book, that Coleman Trebor was going to end the Clone Wars right there. And Dooku turns and was not going to react in time to Coleman Trevor's attack. Jango Fett had to interfere. And Dooku was able to keep pace with Yoda. Shut the fuck up, LeRon. Now, he was able to keep up with hold up. All right, so he was able to keep up with Yoda in combat. As well as, so if he's getting blitzed or is about to get blitzed by Coleman and was not able to raise his lightsaber in time, this would put his speed at around Dooku at the very
So
least.
it would just for context on the situation, was Dooku looking at him, or was he like looking in a different direction?
He was standing straight. He was staring straight. Coleman jumps up. Dooku turns, and Coleman's lightsaber is already lit when they face, and Dooku's not able to raise his hand, and Jango has to fire.
Wait, so like, just for like visualization, let's say like I'm standing at like the roof of a building and stuff. I'm looking straight out ahead at something. You're below me at like the bottom level, and you jump up with your lightsaber already ignited. And
no, it wasn't ignited, actually.
Okay, so he just has the lightsaber in hand?
Yes, and then he ignites it, and he's about to kill Dooku.
Okay.
Jango had to interfere.
Okay, so basically, so he notices, is Dooku like near his, like, is his lightsaber still at his waist?
Yes, right by his hand, where his hand is.
Okay, so pretty much I can just feel like that this is a case of just being like, you could argue that this was a case of being caught off guard, because a lot of times, even no matter how good your actual reaction time is, that's only when you actually have your guard up. And because one, he didn't even have his lightsaber there, and two, he is startled by this image of a guy like coming straight at him. I feel like this isn't a reliable thing to judge his reaction time. If anything, I think this was just a statement on how fast. If anything, you could just say that this was a statement on his travel speed, or actually not even travel speed, because you can't translate that to jumping speed, but like just his speed that he was coming at him at.
So, a couple things. One, Dooku was on guard because Mace Windu had got the drop on him recently, and he's literally witnessing a war. And even though he's not actively fighting, he would have to expect something to happen.
But he wasn't in combat at the moment.
No, but he's right above the combat. And Mace Windu had just gotten the drop on him.
Yeah, but so wait, is he fighting Mace Windu, or is he done fighting Mace Windu?
No, Mace Windu was forced to leave the balcony.
Okay, so that means like if I'm fighting someone and then I'm done fighting that person, I'm gonna kind of have like a moment of relief there. I'm not gonna be like still.
Yeah, like, but this wasn't a few moments. Also, he jumps up. He's watching. We both acknowledged they're fighting. He's watching the fighting.
Yes,
and Coleman Trebor was in the fight.
Okay. So, but because I feel like it's even a statement on how off guard he was by the fact that he didn't even have his lightsaber handy on him.
Well, people don't have their lightsabers out just willy-nilly.
Well, if he's ready to battle, he needs to have his if you're claiming that he's part of this battle, like even if he's not fully like in it right now, but if you're saying that he's on guard, if I'm on guard, I consider that having my weapon at like ignited and ready.
And the Jedi and Sith also have precognition. Even with precognition, Coleman Trebor was able to do this.
Well, then how was he caught off guard by this?
Coleman Trevor's that fast, and he's a Jedi Master, so it would make sense.
Well, does precognition just apply to everything? But because if if you had precognition over literally everything, then every fight would end in a stalemate because you know exactly what's going to happen, and every person could just react to everything.
So let's say I could see Mike Tyson about to punch me in the face.
I love
like
how you use Mike Tyson
to react.
I love how you use
Mike Tyson every
just
chance.
like I do.
Yeah, so probably Mike Tyson. I see like a half second early he's about to punch me in the face. Doesn't mean I can react and stop him from hitting me in my face.
What? Yes, but if you were surprised by that, then that kind of shows. If you were surprised,
I didn't say surprised. I said he wasn't able to react.
Well, how far do you know the specifics on this precognition? Like how far ahead they see, or if they see just everything that's about to happen?
They can see it in battle, and it's actually the Sith has
inconsistencies if they had precognition over literally everything that was going to happen.
Well, it's still you have to be fast enough to make a difference.
Well, but I'm focusing on the issue of whether or not this precognition is just some passive ability that they have at all times, or if it's an ability that they turn on in battle and use the Force to be able to use.
Well, they always have it on. Do you want a direct example?
Sure.
So Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker and number 2 in the beginning were standing outside of a door, just conversation casually. And Anakin and Obi-Wan immediately turn around and say, I feel that. And they open up the door and kill the assassin slugs that were in there about to poison the queen.
Okay, but that's but that's a case of them being on guard and needing to know what's about to happen.
No, they were having a casual conversation. So that's about as on guard as Dooku. Would you agree?
What? I mean, okay, yeah, I guess I can see that then. If you're saying that Luke and him were just having a casual conversation, then I can agree with that.
It was Anakin and Obi-Wan.
Oh, okay. And so they were just having a normal conversation, and like they were like, "Wait, do you feel that?"
Yeah, I said Queen. I think I meant Senator. My bad. But yeah, that's probably what threw you off. So also on top of that, Django couldn't even get the drop on him initially. And Django was able to match Obi-Wan Kenobi in speed, as well as I have scans, if you need him, of Django Fett unarmed, not even with his best weapons, blitzing and killing 8 Jedi Knights specifically assigned under Dooku to kill. It was like a hit team. And he killed them with his bare. He's fast enough to do that. And that's not even using his strongest weapon. And the fact that Coleman Trevor's focused on Dooku, and Django caught him from the weak side. And not even looking, Coleman was still able to deflect blasts.
Yeah. Okay. I really don't need them to believe you, but later, like even if you have to do it later, can you just send them to me because that actually sounds awesome?
Yeah, I have it right here actually.
Okay, cool.
I'll put it in splashy debates.
Okay. I'm already in that, so.
All right, give me a second, bud. I always keep these on scan in case someone tries me about my boy Coleman.
So just curious, while you're sending this, who would win in a fight, Swiper or Coleman?
Swiper, no diff.
Okay, so Swiper's... Do you like Swiper more, or do you just think he's way more OP?
Yeah, Swiper's the GOAT. I can't utter any bad words about him. Here you go.
All right.
Here's one of the scans. I'll post the other in a second. It's in splashy debates.
All right. Let's see here. Got Django. Does he have different armor in the comics, or like?
No, that's his Mandalorian armor. He changed the color.
That's
later.
Django.
Yes, Django.
I've never seen him in that armor before.
That's before he took up the mantle as the king of the Mandalorians. So he would have had his armor color changes, like your rank.
Oh, okay.
I have the second part to that. Do you need it or?
I don't really need it. I just wanted to see because it sounded cool.
I'll give it to you later for sure.
Okay, cool. Sounds good.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious. Where do you think that? I'm just curious on your reasoning of where. I am sorry, but I forgot his name again.
Coleman Trebor.
Coleman
Trevor.
Trebor.
Just say the GOAT.
Where would you place him strength wise? Whether or not with the Force or without, just like.
Well, regular Jedi can punch through and destroy droids, so he has to have the strength to do so. Okay. And then force augmentation with his lightsaber strikes. So he's going to be a little bit less than Anakin Skywalker because Anakin does have a lot of raw power. But Anakin's lightsaber blows.
Do you mean when he was? Do you mean when he was Anakin, or do you mean when he was Darth Vader?
Anakin, just Anakin.
Okay.
Anakin's lightsaber blows physically were compared to meteor strikes hitting you each stroke.
Okay.
And they actually.
I was gonna say because I know because the one thing I do know about the comics is I've seen a lot of scans of just Darth Vader being insane with force strength. Just like raw strength.
Not Vader. I'm not talking about Vader.
Okay.
So it was likened to meteor strikes, every strike. And
that's I get that's powerful and stuff, but I do feel like that's a bit vague because meteors can be a lot of different sizes.
Yeah, so we'll say we'll lowball it. City block level, I guess, in strength. I think that's fair. Because this is also Star Wars, mind you. So Dooku saying it was like actual meteors hitting you.
Okay.
So a large building level, worst case, I guess.
Okay.
And so it would also make sense that he scales to that because he was said to be a master in the Force, as well as he is a Verk alien, which are vastly superior to the human race in physicality. So he's way naturally stronger than Anakin, and he's a master with the Force. So while he's not as strong as Anakin in the Force, his already biological difference would put him relative close enough at least.
Okay. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's definitely fair. I do think it's notable that like if we're gonna compare like strikes even with the sword and stuff, how much of Raiden do you know about his like strength? Like
I know he can toss shit around that's heavy as hell. Yeah,
like he's tossed things that are like the sizes of like skyscrapers. He can cut through things. Even with the Murasama, it's very impressive that he's cut through things that are built to survive things that are built to kill things that survive nuclear wars. So like three tiers above nuclear wars. So yeah, I just think that. So I feel like I do feel like if that's like his main thing, if meteor strength is his thing, then I would argue that they're at least, I think, enough on par with each other that it won't make that much of a difference strength-wise.
I won't argue strength. Yeah, strength's fine.
Yeah, I think we can both agree on that.
Strength's fine.
Okay. Am I forgetting a category? Durability, where do we just think that both of our characters just kind of like, in terms of durability,
they're not surviving decapitation? I think we know that. So
well, yeah, that's I'm talking about their like just body in general, just like so.
Yeah, so he has like natural force barrier to stop shots.
What do you think their impact durability is?
It would have to. I don't know because it's not really impact
for your character or for Raiden.
For my character, I don't know the impact for Raiden, and it's not going to come down to impact. It's going to come down to cutting.
Yeah. I'm just talking. I'm just seeing conversation and stuff. How long has this been going on for? By the way, do we know?
I'm unsure.
Okay.
35 minutes.
Thank you. Okay, well, do you have any do you have like a closing statement?
Sure, I'll cut. You want me to close first?
We can do it. We can do either. Just whatever. I guess I can start because you went first time. So I guess it's only fair that I go second. I mean that I go first. Okay, so pretty much we have established that Raiden can go above the speed of lightning. I've stated my argument for why I think that the movies contradict the lore, and I do feel like the movies are. I feel like we can find a fair medium between the movies and lore. I feel like if we actually see stuff on screen, and if this guy's half of the stuff he's done has just been like in the movie, then I feel like we can actually find a median. ground between the lore and what the calculations we can actually see in the movie are. So I do feel like he wouldn't be all lore based if that's just for the purpose of making him stronger. So I do feel like he's weaker than stated, but Raiden does have incredible speed. He's cut through things that can survive nuclear warheads, so he can stand up to the strength of him if needed, if they ever lost their weapons or anything, or something happened to them, because honestly, Raiden would just need to pinpoint the hilt of it and just destroy the lightsaber. But essentially, I just think that, Raiden's pretty cool. All right, your turn.
All right, so even if we go off movies, disregard lore, Count Dooku was unable to react to Coleman Trevor's attack. He was not going to be able to react to it in time, and it would have ended the Clone Wars because Coleman Trevor was going to kill him. And Dooku, point blank against Yoda, reacted to lightning, and Sith lightning is enhanced by the Force. So it's actually faster than regular lightning, and he easily reacted to the lightning when Yoda reverted it back to him. And so with that kind of speed, he's easily above lightning. And then he has precognition, as all Jedi have precognition. He has the Force, so regular Force push, Force pull, disarmament, all that good stuff. He is physically, each strikes like a meteor strike, as well as the Force enhances strikes, so he'd be able to cut through Raiden easily. Jango Fett took several blasts with his strongest weapon to take down Coleman Trevor, who wasn't even looking at him when he fired upon him. He still reacted to several shots before eventually getting taken out. And Jango, even without his strongest weapon, blitzed 8 Jedi Knights and killed them unarmed, who were a part of Dooku's hit squad. So, yes, because of his speed, precognition, hacks with the Force, and his lightsaber, as well as imbuing the lightsaber, and the fact that he's a master with the Force, I believe he would chop Raiden to shreds.
All
right. So does that about wrap it up?
So who is specifically judging?
Wait, there's a judge on this? I thought this was thought this was like.
Do you want to judge, or is it pretty clear?
I mean, I didn't think this was that serious.
The only reason you would go to conclusions is if you disagree that your opponent's side is correct, and
no, I don't. No, that's what I was about to get to. If we're done with the debate, I'd like to just say that I completely. Wait, what?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and I was just saying that. Well, if we have to go to conclusions, we just want to end the debate and let somebody else try and judge for it. Because if it was pretty clear that somebody won, usually they just concede.
I don't think necessarily debates have to have a winner, because honestly, because I stated before, I'd probably be swayed by him because I haven't researched the character myself. If we're done with the debate, I'd just like to say I completely agree that this character would absolutely stomp Raiden.
Well, I mean, yeah.
And I would have known that if I did prior. I would have known that obviously if I did prior research, and not that he did bad during the debate. He did great during the debate, but I'm just saying, yeah, I completely agree with your side, and I didn't. So I don't think that we can have a fair judge of the debate, unless you just want to argue who presented their points better. But even then, it's just
yeah. I mean, I still think
because if I didn't even agree with half the points that I was presenting, then how can I be expected to be like? Because at that point, you're arguing like a stick against a dragon.
One thing that you do need to know about is something called cinematic timing, which Splash kind of brought up. But this is something that happens when you bring up live action movies. Which Flash kind of brought up, which solidified his point. You're just they're contradicting, but it's not really.
I said that for the purpose of the debate. I said that completely for the purpose of the debate. I would totally, in an actual situation, because the point of debates is just to debate stuff that you don't agree with. Like in this case, I was supposed to debate something that I agreed with, right? So that I disagreed with. So I'm saying that during that debate, I said a lot of things that I do not personally agree with, but in order for me to present myself better during the debate, I had to say those things in order for me to be presented better.
Do you know that Solid Snake dodged lasers before?
Well, I know that he dodged some lasers, but it can be argued that a lot of those were aim dodging. I've never seen him dodge a laser when
Yeah,
it's already
but
been
it still
fired.
makes him like relativistic. If you can scale right into him, that's much better than just lightning speed, because that's a 3,000 times difference between light and lightning.
Yeah, if you scaled Raiden to being faster than Snake, and then used that 220 times multiplier, you would have blitzed.
Yeah, you would have completely destroyed him.
I think I'll have to look into the Snake thing, but
I mean, Splash was using lasers for light speed as well, so it's really the same.
But I'm a huge fan of Metal Gear Solid, and I just think that I've seen a lot of things where I have seen a lot of instances where like Snake has dodged very, very fast things, but I've yet to see a time that he's done that when it can't be argued that it's aim dodging.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's why I brought up.
In the games with like 3-dimensional graphics, I don't think he's ever done it without aim dodging. So there was like a much older game where he did dodge them, and it was like an actual dodge. It's probably an outlier, but you still could have used it.
Yeah.
You still could have got that relativistic feat in there, and that would have you could have got like.
I feel like that would have been easily exploited though. Like I feel like he'd easily call bullshit on that.
Well, if he frequently dodges like lasers or whatever.
Yeah, if he frequently dodge lasers, even if he did it like twice, I could have brought that up. But like for something that like that where it's mostly aim dodging, I needed to say something like that.
Well, yeah. I'm just saying, like even aim dodging is still usable. Anyways, go ahead, Splash.
Nah, I don't like that you're implying I wasn't lowballing Coleman, because I definitely lowballed him to make this a fair fight.
What I thought was really funny,
even with lowballing,
was when you tried to scale him to Yoda.
Yoda and Dooku.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't Yoda and Dooku. He used a statement from the Yoda and Sidious fight, as if that was like, as if that applied to
Dooku.
I believe it said in the Yoda Dooku fight the same thing though. I just know the word for word.
So you just came up with some bullshit, and you knew that I couldn't reply because I've never read it.
Oh,
no, I'm just saying, even if you had watched the movies, you would know that like Yoda when he fought Sidious was obviously a lot more, powerful than when he fought
Yeah,
Dooku,
but I couldn't refute anything that he said because, like I said before this started, I've never researched his character.
Well, yeah,
I'm just saying, all you had to do was just ask, like, can you prove he was that fast whenever he fought Dooku? Like,
yeah, but
this is why debates. This is why you can still debate even if you don't know their characters, because if you ask them to provide evidence, and they do, usually you just look over the evidence and you can find faults in it. It's a very quick thing to do.
I point out inconsistencies like that, like just how you said, like the snake feet. I'm like, that's an inconsistency.
Well, yeah, but if Splash, as he said earlier, he didn't necessarily know if it applied. So if he was unable to provide evidence and you questioned it and he can't prove it, then it's thrown out of the debate.
Yeah, but I just assumed that either he didn't have the scans with him at the moment, and I really didn't want to wait for him to go find the scan.
Well, if he doesn't have it on hand, then yeah, like just ask him, and if he doesn't have it on hand, then we'll just move on. If we don't want to wait so long, then we just consider that point out in the debate.
I just didn't want to have to risk him being like, no, I'll find them, and then we're waiting here for like 15 minutes.
Nah, it's not my style. You can ask Naya if I don't have it.
Yeah, Splash doesn't like fucking wait.
Next time when we have our actual debate, I'll probably do that more. So just be like, have them on hand and stuff. I'll do the same.
To be fair, I always have Coleman, Trevor stuff ready. Naya and Saboshi, don't doubt that.
Okay, so, but yeah, like in our actual debate and stuff, I'll find, like, I'll ask you more. And
what's the actual debate gonna be on?
I have no idea. We never really disagree on anything that we like.
Well, then you guys should find another topic
or stuff that, like, the thing is, the things that we disagree on, I could like totally be swayed over because the reason that I think a character would win is normally because both characters are like insanely vague in like their reasoning for certain things.
Hey.
Yeah, I gotta go.
Dyph, look at this list in the debate channel that I